Hello. Welcome back to our German 1890 campaign, Blood and Iron. It's getting late into the campaign here. It's 1986, getting close to 1990. Don't really have very high tension anywhere in particular, although we got a little bit with the US, a little bit with Britain. It's enough to maintain our budget, essentially. And we're going to see what breaks first, 1990 or our unrest level. It is almost 11 a.m. here on uh, Thursday, March 27th. I realized I don't have an episode queued up for today. I was just up for tomorrow, or yesterday, essentially. So I decided to quickly try to record one here and hopefully get it posted because I have them go live at noon. And then we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and save the game. We're going to go ahead and make a copy in case we get a corrupted file or something weird. We'll start pressing the button. But I wanted to get an episode recorded for today real quick, and then I'll do another episode. There goes our budget. So we're going to go for social reforms. There we go. And now that is hopefully our unrest taken care of. Austria-Hungary lost to CV. Like I said, it must be a nightmare fighting in the Mediterranean this late with all the airfields and potential. Like, we were looking at the airfields last episode, I think. And it's probably not just airfields that's a problem. Imagine there being missile launchers in all of these ports as well. So essentially, as soon as you spawn in, you're just getting pummeled by missiles. And if you happen to survive that, which is unlikely, you get the joy of getting beat up by missiles. So it looks like our Z120s are starting to go obsolete. So let's go ahead and rebuild half of those. This is what we would do. So it's a 700 rebuild just for the engines, but it's only 8 months, so we'll do it. There we go. But we're going to do an episode today. I'm going to do an episode after this because I have a feeling that we might not get to 1990 right here. Oh, we're being attacked. We could blame the USA. We could lose a prestige and go to The Hague about it. We'll do that. Let's see here. Italy lost a CV. Weird. Our tension actually didn't did it increase with the USA. I don't know. But we're gonna do an episode here, and then I'm gonna do an episode after this, which will probably be the last episode of this series for Germany. And in that episode, I'll start asking, like, hey, what's everyone think about you know, the next nation to play, the next campaign? Here's the Russian Vladivostok class. 4 heavy SSMs. Not as scary. Not as scary as those French ones with the 12 missiles. Let's see here. Let's do the rest of these 19 or 120s. I was almost calling them 1975s, but interesting. Looks like it looks like we potentially we're already rebuilding some of them. So we're gonna have a 1985 and a 1986 remodel, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Nothing else looks like it's going to go obsolete. Our Danzigs are still alive somehow. These 1949 light cruisers we built. Although some of these Danzigs look like they will need to be rebuilt. We could gain some budget. We're just gonna give up a prestige and make a bland comment. Blah blah blah. We have no opinion on this particular subject. All right, yeah, it looks like we got some Danzig's finishing refits. We're gonna put these ones on foreign station, and we'll go ahead and refit these ones real quick. I hope everyone has been enjoying themselves and enjoying the series. We're gonna go for lower tension and lower budget to try to get our unrest down. Oh, well, no one did anything. The US is still kind of mad at us. We might squeeze out another little war here. Depends. I'm not gonna like push for it. Ooh, I'd really like to build another one of these, but we just can't afford it right now. We'll go for a gunboat since we have to raise tension. That is the good thing about being against the US as Germany is that those tension events like that aren't really going to affect them. It's just going to, like I said, I think it affects the first four on your list, which are your main enemies or your main rivals, I suppose. Because Italy has never been our actual enemy. They've just been our friend that never really stood up for us very well throughout the years. But I hope everyone's set up to have a good weekend coming up here soon. Italy lost a helicopter carrier and a CV, and I'm tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to record the next episode today because tomorrow I'll be busy in the afternoon. That's my Warhammer day. I go and play Warhammer in real life, despite being wretchedly poor. It's a really bad hobby if you don't have any money. It's like Magic the Gathering as a hobby. Although your models, your Warhammer models, I did play Magic a little bit. I'd build like little cheap decks and stuff and bring them to Friday Night Magic. Long, long, long ago. Let's see what happens. I mean, like we're pretty much maxed out on research, but yeah, I did the Magic thing long, long, long ago, and then I recently, like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come back and try a little bit of Magic, like online. Complete beginner, like don't know anything coming in. Didn't work out very well. But I'd build like little cheap decks essentially. I'd basically just take like my draft decks and like upgrade them a little bit. That's about all I could manage. But my Magic the Gathering series didn't do very well. No one was particularly interested in it. And I didn't know where to go with it anyway. And I was completely lost. Like I was just don't know how to play Magic anymore. Couldn't even figure out the basics. I sucked. Yes, let's be friends with Japan. But the cool thing is that your models for Warhammer, Austria lost a light cruiser. Yeah, your Warhammer models. Uh-oh, tension's creeping up with the US. Your Warhammer models maintain like their value for the most part, unless you like really mess them up. Like you can put them together poorly, make them look horrible. Oh man, look every time. We can blame Italy. Let's blame Spain. It's been a while since we blamed Spain for anything. But you can really mess up your Warhammer models. Like put them together badly, paint them horribly. Like that's basically what I do. Like I got old man shaky hands and bad eyesight. Keeping our Danzigs on foreign station as usual. So now we can pull our Hamburgs back. So let's active fleet these ones. We'll bring them back home to Northern Europe. But I managed to get myself a new Warhammer kit about once every 3 months, maybe if I'm lucky. I have a nice little Imperial Guard army that I collected some years ago when they were a lot cheaper, and I managed to get a lot of them secondhand off eBay. eBay has become like it has changed over the years. Like it used to be just like it's literally just like a place for people to go and just like, hey, you got like some extra clothes in your closet, or like a pair of shoes, or you got like some hubcaps or something. And it's like, I'll just sell them on eBay and like, I'll try and get like half my money back because, stuff's been sitting around for a while. I'll be happy with just getting what I can. And now it's just more like a bunch of storefronts, like actual storefronts. We're going to build some subs here because that's like our thing is subs. So we're going to build 5 missile subs. We're going to build 5 long range subs. But now it's just like you look on eBay and stuff will be like 90 to 95% of like the retail cost. I wish we could make another one of these, but we won't. If I hadn't built those subs, I could have considered it. Built a highway system for long-term economic development to get us through the 1990s and into the 2000s. And the thing about, if you walked into Walmart and something was, 90% of the price is 10% off, you'd say, "Oh, that's kind of cool." But oh, Austria lost another carrier. But the thing is, it's like this is a used, like it's not really. Sometimes it's not used, but it's a product that someone has taken home with them, and it's like, you know, if someone like it's a returned item essentially. Like you wouldn't want to pay only get 10% off for a returned item, almost no matter what the condition. Let's see here, Austria-Hungary down to 3 carriers. Italy's down to 3. Britain has 5. The U.S. has 20. So yeah, if we end up going to war with the US, we're fighting Britain and the US again, which kind of stinks. But it used to be like back in the day, you'd like, get some really good deals on there. There's the Bo Belaloo, I don't know, class. That's a nice carrier for a French one. It's not US, and it's not going to be gigantic. Let's lower tensions if we can. We don't want to get dragged into their war. And, like, you'd go online and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get myself a new little Warhammer tank," or I have to rebuild these 1964s. Get myself a little Warhammer tank. And, normally, like back then, it would cost like $50 or something, or $40. Replace machinery. We're gonna be slightly over on tonnage, but that's fine. 40, let's say $50. Like, let's say it would cost $50 new. And you'd go on there and be like, "Look, this is one that someone tried to put together, and it doesn't look fantastic." So they're selling it for like $25 or $30 or something. So it's like, I'm saving some money here, getting a nice little deal. So I'll buy it and I'll clean it up myself. And that's what I did with like my Imperial Guard for the most part. But nowadays, like you'd look at that same tank on there, the US Incredible class. Not that impressive for 16,000 tons, not that impressive, only 6 heavy launchers. Honestly, they went more with their guns than anything else. I don't think that's such a wise decision in this era, but who knows? Um, oh yeah, but that's how I got a lot of my Imperial Guard armies back when they were cheaper. But you go in there now, and that same tank, would cost you probably cooperation will benefit us both. So we lower tension with Japan, who is our ally anyway. But you go in there now, and like that same tank would cost you probably $70 to start with because it's like a vehicle, and Games Workshop like way over costs the. We'll go to the international court. Games Workshop like way over costs everything nowadays, but especially like their vehicles and stuff. So like it'd start out $70 to begin with, just for a stupid tank, and you need like five of them. You need like five or maybe even more of them. So like that's you're already like getting in deep just by buying them. And so you get this $70 tank, and you look at it, and this guy bought it, and we're gonna build a new heavy jet fighter. We're gonna go for let's go for speed and reliability. He bought it, he took it home, he started putting it together. He obviously, got bored of it or something, or couldn't figure it out. Looks like we are going to end up getting pulled into another stupid war here with Britain. And, he obviously didn't get it all put together properly, and maybe he started painting it or something. And he's like, well, this tank cost me $70, so I want my $70 back. So he looked, and maybe not, they're not very familiar with eBay. And a lot of people will do this like on eBay where they're not familiar with what they got. They went to a yard sale, they went to a garage sale, they picked up something. Let's go for the win with Russia. They picked up something they found at a yard sale, like maybe like a wristwatch, or who knows, like a pair of headphones or something. And they go home and they immediately like Google the price. Looks like we're gonna end up in a war with freaking Britain here. There we go. Yeah, they Google the price and they say, "Oh man, these headphones cost $100 brand new." And it's like, yeah, you got them at a yard sale though. Or go to trade protection. You got them at a yard sale. They're used. You're not even like, did you even plug them in? Like, have you tested them? Do you know if they even work? Like, how long were they used? Are they scuffed? Are they, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't even like consider the fact that they're selling a used product. They just want to get, their money. So they go on eBay. They're like, hey, I got these, headphones. They cost $100 on Amazon. I want $100 for them. And it's like the same concept. Like eBay didn't used to be very much like that. You'll see stuff on eBay that's like double. Like people put stuff on there for like double like the normal price. Like those headphones, someone will put them on there for $150. We're gonna go to unrestricted warfare, and we're gonna get pulled in with the USA here. And it's like that with Warhammer models too, where maybe we'll have a real fight here near Germany, where they'll be like, I looked it up. It costs $70 for a tank. I bought the tank. I want my money back. I want $70. We're going to decline this. Well, we're going to accept it. Whatever. We're going to fight. We're going to get spammed with missiles. Like, absolutely spammed with missiles, by the way. And I realize, and I'm just now starting to realize I'm kind of making my point over and over. But I'm just kind of mad because it's like harder for someone like me to get like Warhammer stuff or anything really from eBay for a reasonable price anymore. All right, they're locking onto our cruiser. Of course they are. Here they come. Because our cruisers will not stay behind their screens, no matter what we do. So we're going to break the Frankfurt off. and we're going to try to get it home. Don't know if we will. Let's look and see where our launchers are at. Looks like our launchers are in the back of the ship. They're in the front and the back. So, well, the Frankfurt is done. But yeah, just excuse me as I rant about stuff here. Well, we lost a cruiser, but maybe we will sink an enemy cruiser, which will make up for it. Although ours might be newer, it might be one of the cruisers we just finished, the Palau, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna fire some torpedoes at this ship here. We're gonna break this one off and try and get it home. Because apparently, even though it was dead in the water, the cruiser's guns were still working. Alright, well that takes care of that. Hopefully we'll get some reloads going. Let's turn off fire at will, so we can hopefully catch up to this radar contact and hit him with some missiles. Well, looks like it's dead in the water as well. So we're gonna fire away. Alright, and send it home. Alright, let's see what happened. Looks like we might lose a destroyer. We've definitely lost a cruiser. We just have to hope that we manage to sink an actual cruiser and not just a bunch of misidentified destroyers. But speaking of Warhammer stuff, this weekend is Adepticon, which is a big event. So once I'm done recording the next episode for tomorrow, I'm going to be watching that for a little while today. I have some friends out there. So we sank 3 destroyers. Not great. Not great. I was hoping at least one of them was a cruiser. At least we had a draw this time. We have the advantage. The only problem is as soon as the US jumps in, our VP is going to like jump. So, well, theirs going to jump. Ours is going to sink essentially. Wow, we're losing so many subs. 7 in 1 month. Holy cow. All right, the next month, war with the US. So start building some subs here. We'll take another 10 missile subs. We got money. Let's build another 10 long range subs. Because these carriers will be finished here. Or no, they won't. Yeah, it's gonna be a little while before they're finished. So we're gonna be at a deficit here for at least a year. But the good news is we're gonna start losing ships left and right. Yeah, it was one of the this Pilau class because we had 3, now we're down to 2 in the 2nd division there. But wishing some luck to our local group that went to Adepticon as a team. We have for being such a small little area that I live in, 1, 2, 3 carrier groups. Yep, we're going to take this battle. This might be our chance to cripple the British fleet before the US jumps into the war. Although we're going to be gaining, potentially, if we can get this to work, we could gain some victory points and then immediately lose them all when the US jumps in. So let's scout. We're going to go for heavy cap, 2-phase search, night search. We're going to extend the search radius. There we go. We're gonna put the mileage up to 350 and go. So we're 2 minutes in, and then we'll start getting our airstrikes ready. Trying to ready a strike. Ready a strike. And ready a strike. So hopefully as soon as we spot an enemy, we'll be ready to airstrike them. And we can't change the course on our carriers, but we can put all this stuff on AI control so that once we get going here, all we'll have to control are the carrier groups. Normally I'd be excited for this battle, but I'm actually a little bit nervous considering how poorly our air groups have been performing. We're getting reports of a cruiser somewhere. Yeah, reports of cruisers. That must be their scouting force. So we're gonna go to squad max on these cruisers out here. We're gonna try and get these destroyers in between them if we can. Let's turn our carriers into the wind at max speed. It would have been cool to have our Graf Zeppelin 2s involved in this. Reports, yeah, just getting reports of heavy cruisers. So that's like their forward element. Potential light carrier as well, but let's wait for, yeah, let's wait for 3 CVs. All right, yeah, we're gonna launch on that, even though there's CVLs, but we're gonna go ahead and launch on it. So we're gonna select the CVLs as the target. Priority target of CVs, coordinate the strike, select ready, and go. And hopefully we can land like a real hit on them. Let's in fact get our cruisers for sure. Yep. So we're gonna turn on fire at will. Man, there must be, those are some long distance contacts. Turn off fire at will so that we're not just putting all our missiles into one particular target out in front. Now we can turn off fire at will again, spread them out. Oh, nice. Missile shot down by Light Sam. That's kind of cool. You like to see it? Now here come all the missiles. We're gonna keep our destroyers in between. Try to absorb some of that, because destroyers are hard targets to hit to begin with. And if we can get them to waste... Yeah, look at that. Countermeasures, Light Sams, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's take a look at our reports. Let's get rid of a lot of these reports. Yeah, there's a lot of missiles incoming. We just don't want our cruisers getting hit. All right, so we did take a hit on the destroyer. So we break it off. We shake it off. Shake it off. And send it back home. We are kind of lucky that we've only been hit by one so far, considering how many were launched in our general direction. And there's another wave incoming. But we're keeping these destroyers out in front. All right, let's get rid of some of these reports so I can at least. All right, this. I don't know what's going on here. Yep, not really sure. We're encountering a lot of SAMs, probably a lot of cap if there are real carriers there. But our little screen out here is doing okay. Nice. 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 That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Look at the missiles. Yeah, there's a real fleet over here. Don't know if those are our sea missiles or the air-to-ground missiles, but either way, I think we'd kind of prefer it to be the SSMs because I think they're going to do a little bit more damage than a air-launched missile. But we'll take anything. At this point, like, we'll take it all. I want it all. So we're just keeping the carrier reports. Looks like we might have two groups, like one down here and one up here, which is kind of encouraging. Still waiting on these missiles to actually hit our destroyers, which have been very, very, very good at absorbing these missile salvos. I fully expected to lose like half of these by now. So we have enemies that are approaching our carrier division. Looks like we're shooting down some stuff. We're probably, yeah, we're completely out of SSMs. We still have a few SAMs on here. And the SSMs are reloaded on our cruisers, so we can get them involved. We're still being evasive here with our destroyers. And it looks like, are these our airstrikes? Yeah, these are our airstrikes. Once they get back, we'll reload them and do it all over again. Hopefully we'll go for some more targets. There we go. There's some contacts. So let's get these destroyers into a line formation now and get our torpedoes ready. And that'll also hopefully unmask the cruisers back here. All right, we got incoming aircraft. There we go. Here comes some missiles. We're going to turn off fire at will because we're shooting all of them at just a few targets out in front. Probably killing a bunch of destroyers. Or probably killing just one destroyer, actually. Because that's the way it tends to go. All right, now we'll turn fire at will back on. Are we out? Did we fire everything? We did. Okay, well, not the most efficient thing we could have done, but oh, looks like we're reloading. We're reloading, or I don't know. Cool, very cool. All right, let's launch some torpedoes. Or hang on, wait for a good bearing. Wow, we have a lot of missiles. It is our turn. It is our turn. Look at those missiles go. All right, turn off fire at will. Actually, no, just keep going. There's lots of targets. They're spreading out. Like the missiles have a good spread on them. Nice. Nice. All right, have we recovered our aircraft? We have. So we're going to auto select a strike. We're going to get them ready. Ready? And there we go. Cool. Let's get rid of some of these older reports. We do want to maneuver a little bit just in case they launch torpedoes at us. And let's fire some torpedoes at that Executor class. Well, we can't. Okay. Oh, nice. Destroyer hit. Okay, we just got hit by something there. Oh, near miss machinery damaged. So we're going to detach that. It's not sufficiently damaged enough. Okay, well, that's fine, I suppose. Yeah, our like destroyers these days are so delicate. All right, we're gonna turn our destroyers back the other way and try and get some torpedoes off on that immobilized cruiser. Cool, we can detach this one because we are in gun range, and like any hit from a gun at this point is really going to hurt. We don't do armor anymore. We don't do that here. Okay, let's. Thought we were readying up a strike here. What's going on? Thought we were readying a strike. Where do our aircraft go? All right, let's start sending our carriers back towards the port. We want to linger closer to the port anyhow, just in case. Okay. All right, it looks like we're ready now. So let's select ready. We don't have a whole lot of aircraft left, but we're going to choose the two CVLs and launch a strike on them. This is a lot better aircraft here. Launch strike, a lot more aircraft, a lot better strike package. And launch a strike. All right. Hopefully that'll do something, and that might be our last airstrike of the battle. Looks like that heavy cruiser contact turned into a destroyer. Maybe. Oh no, it sank. It's right here. So it looks like we at least killed a cruiser, maybe. In these Palau class, they do have, they got some 6-inch guns, and they probably have auto loaders on there. So if they get near a destroyer, they can do some damage. So we got some friendly cap that's attacking. Not really getting any results back from that as far as I can tell, just that we're attacking. I don't know if that like breaks up the attack and stops it entirely or just lowers their chance of a success. But it'd be cool if it told us how many planes are being shot down. We're gonna go over here as we adjust the airstrike. We are in pursuit of these destroyers. The more of these destroyers we can pick off, the better. Although it's Britain, they probably have 50 or more. But if we can kill them by the handful, that's less ASW out there that's all up in our business. Airborne ECM reduces SAM effectiveness. I wonder if that's for them or for us. We're shooting down some missiles. That might be for us since we're engaging their attack aircraft. Oh no. I don't heckin' know. But we do want to keep maneuvering to avoid torpedoes. It looks like all our airstrikes are finished. So yeah, we should just head back towards port here if we're being smart about this, because I feel like we got off some decent airstrikes. We didn't get really any missile hits as far as I saw in that last airstrike. So it's probably ineffective. There's one right there. So if we get some missile hits, that'll be pretty sweet. All right, looks like our lead destroyer is taking damage. Can we detach it? We can. No need to lose it. This might be one of our 1970 something class or 1965 class, I think it is. We'll take a look at it in just a sec. So we are scoring bomb hits on stuff. Like we're out of air to surface missiles. Yeah, these are the 64 class. So we do want to preserve them. We technically want to preserve all our ships, but oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That's wonderful. Well, that looks like they're probably attacking a ship that is already like damaged and crippled or something. That's when you get a ton of missile hits like that. It's usually all in the same ship. You start thinking, "Oh man, I just sank like 3 carriers with all those missiles." But no, it's like, "Hey, there's one destroyer that was like falling behind the rest of the group and like your air groups just all attacked them." So I am weaving the Leopard here a little bit because I think his buddy's falling behind. He's only 26 knots. So let's maneuver the cruisers. And see where our carriers are at, if they're actually going home or not. Nope, this guy's going into the wind, so he's launching or recovering. That guy's going home. That guy's going home. That's our old Hindenburg. And our air groups are like really strung out. They're not hitting all at once, which I suppose is actually kind of good in its own way. Let's get rid of a bunch of these reports. But I guess it's kind of good that it's spread out because that means like they hopefully won't just all be attacking the same ships. I see a contact down here. This might be something. I don't know what's happening down there. It's maneuvering, whatever it is. So it might just be like a lone destroyer. Oh, enemy ship. What? There's enemy ships up here? Let's go take a look at that. Let's put this on AI control or R control and go out there and have a little look see. Those missiles are heading towards our carrier group. I don't like that. Let's go home, please. I think they're recovering aircraft. Yeah, I don't know what's down here, but our destroyers are chasing. Actually, our destroyers are kind of needed up here. It's really weird that they just like launched one missile at nothing. In fact, oh, I hate to even ask, what do our air groups look like? We have a lot of, we still have a lot of attack aircraft. Let's ready them up. You know, why not? Go for glory. This is like our chance, before the U.S. jumps in to really put a hurting on this fleet. Although I think we got some really long range airstrikes happening. Like I'm not sure we can even reach their carrier, the contacts for the carriers. Turn in a little bit. Look at that. We're launching missiles at nothing. There's nothing over here. The heck is happening? I don't know. Let's turn fire wheel off. Just I don't know, just in case we got something goofy going on here. Like we got some malfunctioning destroyers. They're like seeing friendly ships. They're like enemy ahead, and just start lighting our own guys up. So we had reports of carriers, and these are probably pretty old. Well, let's at least we don't have torpedoes on these things, but we can probably have torpedoes on. We do. So let's launch at this Dartmouth class. We'll use the torpedoes from the 171 because it's falling behind. It's like slow, so let's at least there we go. Oh, this Dartmouth is actually moving. It's not quite as disabled as I thought it was. Although that probably won't help. And there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to get this episode loaded up before noon. There we go. All right, let's start getting out of here. That's probably enough. That's probably enough. This little group out in front, boy, they did a great job. All right, let's put these back on AI control. They can go up there and escort the carriers. And let's try and get our carriers home if we can. Although I don't like having a bunch of aircraft ready on the deck. We're going to go ahead and launch on this contact here. Just a final wave of aircraft. And it looked like there's one carrier and a couple of a few light carriers. If we can get rid of if we can like sink light carriers, it's actually kind of a good thing. So they're just apparently com- completely loaded down with fighter craft, which isn't great. It looks like this attack's gonna be hitting at night. Oh no, it looks like, oh wow, they're out there already. All right, come on, let's get you all home. Cool. I don't know why we're not going home, but hey, we hit something. One last parting shot. Hmm, air groups are doing good this time around. If y'all can just go home, that'd be pretty sweet. Oh, hang on, we got probably a damaged destroyer that needs to get into port. Cool. It looks like we're gonna get home with everything intact for our carrier groups at least. We forget what we lost. We lost something. Was it a destroyer? I don't know. I feel like we lost something like from that our screen group that we had, our scout group we had out in front there. But come on, let's just get y'all home. We might hit the time limit before we actually get back into port. Still getting reports of CVLs out there, but we're not going to fool around with it any further. It's nighttime. We don't need to get any more. We probably lost a lot of aircraft due to SAMs and CAP and whatnot. We don't need to get a bunch of operational losses on top of it. We do want to preserve the experience of our air groups if possible during this war because there's going to be a lot of carrier fighting. Oh, there we go. All right. How do we think we did? I think I sank a light carrier. I think I sank a light carrier and a full carrier. I think I sank two heavy cruisers, two light cruisers, and a handful of destroyers. So let's see. We sank. Well, we didn't lose anything. That's nice. But some aircraft though. We sank a carrier. We sank three light carriers. That's good. Two heavy cruisers. I predicted that. Three light cruisers and actually plenty of destroyers. That was a very good engagement for us. So we lost 18 to air, 9 to air, or sorry, AA fire 18 we lost, 9 to air, and 3 to operational. That's not too bad. They lost 1 to AA fire, 37 to air. That's really good for us. And then some operational. Then they lost some when their ship sank. So let's take a look at their ships. So they lost the Furious, which was a for real Z aircraft carrier, 74, the Implacable class. Took 8 missile hits. We scored 90 missile hits that battle. We sank the Kadiv class, 29 aircraft. It's pretty standard CVL. Dasher class, 27. And the Stalker class. That's a new one, 1985. So that's a good one to kill. We sank a couple of heavy cruisers. Are they new? 72, yes. And 65 old obsolete one. Okay. Good engagement, lots of victory points, but that's going to get reset on us when the US jumps in. Wow, 17,000 to 0. We'll call that the Battle of Denmark Strait. And does it adjust the VP? Losing a bunch of submarines. We lost a ship to a mine. We lost 6 subs, but only 14 merchants sank. But we keep our victory points, which is really good. Let's spread our submarines around a bit. We got a bunch in Northern Europe. So let's start sending them down to the Caribbean. Let's send the long range subs to the North American East Coast, because again, we're fooling around with the US. So North American East Coast. We'll send some to the Mediterranean. We never did like Blitzkrieg Greece or anything. Like typically I see that happening. And we're going to send a few more to the Caribbean. There we go. All right, I'm gonna try to get this episode uploaded here before noon, so it hopefully won't be late. But you'll be seeing it very shortly if you watch it at all today. If you do, I appreciate it. Hopefully, this was a nice little battle to get the war started. We're blockading Britain, so it looks like our submarine war is essentially going to be against the United States. Check the almanac. I think we sank enough that we put Great Britain. We were pretty even with them, I think, and now they're behind us. So we'll check out the almanac in the next episode. I'll be recording that just very shortly here, but I have to go upload this. So I'll see you next time, and sail safe out there.